Hey there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. Happy Wellness Wednesday, my friends. I'm excited to be back in action, and I always look forward to this particular day of the month, because on this particular day of the month, that's the third day of the second week of my Plant-Based Made Easy cookbook that I write every single month, a new cookbook every single month. On this day, I look forward to it because today's burger day. I always include a delicious plant-based burger in every single one of my cookbooks, and I'm really excited because I pre-prepped these last night to test them out, and they are darn delicious. I'm going to show you today how to make my sweet potato black bean burgers. These are yummy, they're nutrient dense, they're so great for us. They're going to make you feel your best. They're super colorful. They're orange and black, perfect for Halloween in the month of October. So let's get into it. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm really excited to have you. Thank you so much for being a part of this show today. And if you have any questions along the way about plant-based eating or living, just type them into the chat box. And I would love to hear where you're from, where you're streaming in from, maybe what time of day it is, and any questions or comments that you have along the way, all right? Like, engage with me. I'm here because I want to do this for you and for your loved ones and for your family. And I'm feeling pretty bored at home by myself, or in my studio, I should say. So please connect with me. I love to chat with you as I cook. All right, let's get into it. So let's make our sweet potato black bean burgers. The first thing that you want to do is you want to roast off a sweet potato. Of course, I had to do this ahead of time because it does take quite a little bit of time. You want to get any sweet potato variety that you like. You can get a purple potato, a traditional orange yam, or a traditional sweet potato. I've gone the traditional route today, and I actually pre-roasted a delicious and pretty large potato. This is a sweet potato that I seriously just put right on a cookie sheet or a baking tray, which has a sill pad. It has like a really wonderful, eco-friendly and sustainable BPA-free baking mat. If you're curious about that, check out my Amazon influencer, Chef D Malfi kitchen page. You can shop around and see what my favorite kitchen equipment items are, but that is definitely a must-have for my kitchen. I use it every single day. And it's really great for making things like roasted potatoes or roasted veggies, or truly anything baked in the oven. And you can use less oil or no oil. So the way that this recipe is written is actually for the standard approach, using a little bit of olive oil, rub it all over the baked potato, or all over the raw potato, and then stab it with your knife or a fork a few times, and then put it on your baking mat, onto your baking sheet, and into a 400-degree oven. You let it roast for about 30 minutes or so. I don't know why I said 30 minutes or so. And when it comes out, you should have these little tiny like bubbly bits, yeah? Like the juice and the sweetness of that sweet potato should come through, and it should be really perfectly tender. One of the ways to check to make sure that your sweet potato is completely cooked through is take a knife and go for it. Go right in, and your knife should just fall right in. And that's how I know it's tender. I like to have a pre-baked potato in my refrigerator at all times, and here's why. I make burgers all the time, and sweet potato is a great way, a great foundation for any plant-based or vegan burger. Although I mix it up. Every month I use something different. But I also really like roasted sweet potatoes on hand, pre-roasted, because my dog Boo loves them. I give her a little tiny dish of roasted sweet potato. I mash it up for her, and she goes crazy for it. I love that she loves like colorful foods just like her mommy does. I also really love having roasted sweet potatoes on hand because I love to bake brownies and donuts is what I actually wanted to say. I love to bake baked donuts, and I love sweet potato donuts. Sweet potato donuts are one of my favorites. Hey, maybe I'll include it in a future cookbook, yeah? I think it would be really fun to share that recipe with you. But I love baked donuts. It's wonderful to use sweet potato in a donut recipe because you can use less sugar and you get that natural sweetness from the potato itself. So today we're going to use this wonderful potato, and I'm going to grab a clear bowl so you can follow along with me. I'm going to add a 1 large, or in this case, I'm going to do half the recipe, half of a roasted sweet potato. And I'm just going to peel off the skin. Definitely take the skin off for this. The burger will come together better without the skin. You can leave the skin on if you absolutely want extra fiber, but just know that it's going to create a different consistency, a different kind of patty consistency. So it's going to have more of a chew. It's going to have more fiber. It's going to change it a bit. All right, so I have my sweet potato down. The next thing that I want are black beans. It's a sweet potato and black bean burger, so I'm going right for it. I'm gonna use these. I love the Westbury Natural Organic Black Beans. I get really any black bean that I can find, but I really try to make sure that it is USDA organic. But in particular, I bought this can for you because I wanted to share with you one cool label it has on it right here. Do you guys see that? It says non-BPA lining. Friends, I'm always looking for all of these labels. I want to know, how does this manufacturer care about their food? Do they care enough to put it in a BPA-free tin can? Do they care enough to put a non-GMO project verified label on the label and mean it because it actually has to go through the labeling process? Yes, they care enough, and it's USDA organic. I really like that, and I really want to emphasize to you that it's very important. If we can eat clean, we're going to feel our best. Once we eat clean, we thrive. Truly, it's that simple. Now, I know that sometimes it's hard to find ingredients like this, so if you can't find BPA-free or USDA organic or non-GMO project verified beans, that's okay. What you do want to find is something with low salt or no salt, so that should be a really easy indicator right there. Now, I'm going to really watch my salt levels. The way that I do that is I open up my can of beans, any can of beans, I rinse them, I drain them, and I rinse them, and that takes about a third of the sodium away. And I'm going to use a half a can of these drained and rinsed beans. Let's see, who do we have here? Hi, Diane. Hi, Sisette. Hi, Natalie. Good to see you guys, ladies. Good to have you back. All right, beans are in, sweet potato is in. Now, let's get into our binder, our thickening agent. So because we're not using animal protein or meat, as they call it, back in the day, you guys, I just went plant-based, and I love joking about the fact that I'm newly plant-based because it's really magnificent. As a chef of 15 years, to change the way that I look at food and approach food and understand food and love food, it's remarkable. Literally, my entire life has changed, and it's created a ripple effect in my life. Many of my closest family members have gone vegan and plant-based with me, and our entire life collectively is changing. So I love to joke that if you're using animal protein, also known as meat, you don't need a binder. But because we're using we're making plant-based burgers, we definitely need a binder. And today I'm going to use Oats. Oats is a really wonderful binder in a vegan burger or plant-based burger. And I love the rolled oats. These are just traditional rolled oats. These are gluten-free. I buy a 32-ounce bag, and it's great because I use it for everything. Smoothies, baking, burgers, you name it. I'm going to go ahead and add into my mix 1/4 cup. And remember, I'm doing everything half. All right, the next thing that I want is a little bit of red onion. So let me show you how to dice a red onion. Chop or dice, doesn't matter. We're not fancy here. We don't need fancy French chef terms. So grab a little red onion, medium or small. I have one here. I really like the red onion because it's the purple onion. Do you guys call it purple or red? I kind of like intertwine. I go back and forth. I'm going to use the small red onion, and I'm going to take the top and the bottom off. This comes from my CSA box, Farm Fresh to You. If you don't have a CSA produce box coming to your front door every 2 weeks or once a month, I want to really recommend that you try this. If you guys want to try it, I'll throw right into the comment box my discount code or my coupon code if you want to give it a try. A CSA box is a certified organic agricultural cooperative that basically collects wonderful farm fresh produce in your neighborhood. It's all local. They go about 100 to 50 miles out from your address, and they deliver fresh produce right to your door. It's kind of like a farmer's market showing up at your front door. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I truly wasn't into it before, but before I went plant-based, I couldn't be bothered by stuff like that. Truly, like, come on. I'm like, truly everything has changed. I couldn't be bothered because it was just like another thing I had to worry about. But now I really, really kind of value fresh produce in a completely different way. And I love it. I look forward to my box. I look forward to customizing my box. Every single week, I customize my box. We get a small box here, and we just enjoy it. I get all of my greens from my green smoothies in my box, all of my onions. I feel like the farm fresh onions are so different than the commercially manufactured onions. All of my carrots and radishes. I love the CSA box. This stuff, these organic produce items are so much more different when they're really coming from a local farm, right, in your neighborhood. It really makes a big difference. So I'm talking and I'm not really sharing how to do this, but you're following along, yeah? I made some really great like 1/4 inch planks this direction, And then I did the other direction, this direction, literally inside. I'm going to just put my knife in so that you can see. I did these planks this way, and then these planks this way. Yeah. Go all the way through it, but not to the end. So leave the root ball intact, and then go ahead and give it a dice. And this is how I love to dice onions really quickly. Make sure you have a very sharp chef's knife as well. And what you end up with, hopefully, are no tears and really finely diced onions. All right, well, I have a few tears, but that's okay. My grandma says, put a piece of bread in your mouth and that should help, or just near your lips. I'm not actually touching my bread with my mouth, but oh yeah, it does kind of help. It kind of like look, I'm blocking the onion, the onion particles, the onion juice particles. That truly helped. Thanks, Grandma. Is my grandma on the line? No, but Rosie is. Hi, Rosie. Good to see you. So excited that everyone's here. How are you guys doing this Wellness Wednesday? You feeling good? You feeling strong? I know the world is a bit crazed right now. Try to stay above it all if you can. Be in your feelings, but not for too long. All right, so I have all of my onions in. That was a small little onion. For you, you might want to use a medium onion. Remember, I'm doing half the recipe. And then now I want to add my flavor agents. Super important. If there's nothing that you take away from this recipe and this show, take this away from this show and this recipe. Flavor agents. Get into them. Flavor agents are my friends. I use them in all of my recipes. I often call them flavor agents because that's exactly what they are. They're going to actually support the dish in making it sing. They're a flavor agent, an agent of flavor, your friend. You want flavor in your food. So we're going to start with a little garlic powder, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder. These are savory quality flavors that are really, really great, especially in a burger. And I love my new Mise and cups. Look at my little bamboo cups, you guys. I was super inspired by the chef Gaz Oakley, who is a British chef, a little cumin. I love Gaz Oakley. He has over 1 million followers on YouTube now. He is avant-garde vegan. If you haven't followed him or you don't know about him, hop onto YouTube after you watch this episode, of course, and watch an episode of what he's doing. That last ingredient was smoked paprika. It even smokes up the little bowl. And anyway, he had these little tiny cups, and I thought, oh my gosh, I love his style. I love the way that he looks, and I love the way that he speaks, and I love the way that he sets up his kitchen. We could be best friends. Gaz, if you're watching, I love you, and I think that we should be best friends. Okay. Put your Mise en Place cups away. Hey, if you guys want a little link to these Mise en Place cups, Mise en place is a French fancy term for everything in its place. It's really great for setting up your cutting board or your kitchen with all the ingredients that you need. And if you want to know where I got these, they're on my Amazon Chef D Malfi kitchen shop. Check it out. And I have so much more than just kitchen equipment. I also have home goods and clothes and things like that to inspire you to feel your best and live your best. All right. Next, we need a little salt, which I did not grab ahead of time, but I'm going to grab it now. I'm using a little sea salt, you guys. I stopped using kosher salt in my kitchen because it's more processed. I want to use a little bit of sea salt. I actually want to measure this because I don't want to do overboard. And I want 1/4 of a teaspoon. That's an eighth, and that's 1/4. Perfect. All right, let me just make sure I have everything. Sweet potato, check. Black bean, check. Red onion, check. Oats and flavor agents. We have everything. Perfect. All right, so now I have the mixture in a bowl. Let me get a fork. Get a fork for this, and then do yourself a good service and get all of your frustration out on that sweet potato and black bean mixture. And you really want to mix it together. Make sure that it gets nice and sticky. Make sure that all of the ingredients come together. It should be kind of unified. You're going to see little bits of black bean. You're also going to see little bits of oats, and that's okay. The potato itself, if you roasted it long enough, should kind of look pureed. The potato itself is kind of like the glue that brings it all together, along with the oats, I should say. I don't want to lose anything. So any little bits that jump out, I'm saving them. They're going into these burgers. And this makes quite a few burgers, about 6 burgers. 6 burgers that are just smaller than average size. All right. I'm going to just keep going. I'm seeing some questions here. Marissa, oh my gosh, I miss you, gal. Let's go have a coffee, can we? I miss you. I miss you. Hi, Anthony, if you're here, if you're there with Marissa. I miss you guys. Marissa and Anthony and I, all and a bunch of other people went to Israel in February, and it was amazing. And it was like kind of like a crazy time to go to Israel, right? Crazy time to be traveling, because right after we got home, like the day after, they suspended all travel to Israel. So we were like the last group of friends that got to go and do this cool trip, and we really soaked it all in. That was so fun. I'm so glad that I did that. I'm so glad that we did that right in 2020. I needed that. I sometimes like go back in my mind to that, just to February, to that experience, and I cherish those moments where we could be together. Remember the days? Man. How are you guys holding up socially? Are you still able to see people? How's the Zoom socializing going? Is it good for you? Are you liking it or not? I'm genuinely curious. I'm an introvert. I'm truly an introvert in every sense of the word. The only reason it may not seem that way when I'm in my kitchen is because I am super passionate about healthy living and super passionate about food. So you probably can't tell, but I truly am. As soon as I'm by myself, I really feel like I really recharge when I'm by myself, and that's really good for me. And so I actually kind of appreciate this moment of kind of resetting and kind of reprioritizing everything, right? It's like been a wonderful moment for me. All right, so this is wonderful and good and mixed and yummy. Yay. All right, sure. Here's the CSA Farm box code. I just want you to see that if you haven't seen that yet. Cool. Okay. And Jody is asking, can I see your tattoo? Yes, you may. It is Mother Mary holding her baby, the fish. And that fish represents every single one of us held by our mother. And this represents us as human beings having dominion over our animals. We want to love our animals like they are our children. Amen? Amen. All right. That's going to sit aside just for a second, all right? Now, let's actually talk about making these burgers and actually getting them together. I'm going to put on a pair of gloves for this because I want to stay as clean as possible, and this is just easier for me. And I'm going to just get a little plate. I want a clean plate. Come on, D Malfi, get a clean plate. There we go. Here's one. Now I need a bigger one. I'm going to make a bunch for you. A platter, yeah? So I'm going to take, it's about a little larger than a golf ball. And what I want is I want to do just a nice round, like a 3/4 to a 1/2 inch thickness. And just make yourself a little patty. And because sweet potato is so sticky and the oats are really wonderful as kind of like a sticky or jelly agent in the plant-based burgers, these are going to really kind of come together easily. It doesn't require a lot. But the cool thing about this is that you can make them any size. And I really recommend making them the same size. Don't try to get overzealous and make one giant burger and then some small burgers, unless you really want to watch them during the cook time and make sure that the giant burger is not going to be totally moist while the small burgers dry out. You feel me? You got it? You really want to make sure that these come together and cook together at the same rate. And so that's why it's important when you're doing anything, baking anything or cooking anything, patties and nuggets and things like this, make them the same size, cook them the exact same amount of time. And if one is good, the rest will be good. And by good, I mean perfectly moist and delicious or completely done, whatever, cooked through. Yeah? Awesome. All right. You can see I'm doing this. I'm keeping them this size because I actually really like these burgers a little on the smaller side. They're super filling. I'm curious to know anyone here that's on the line, maybe Rosie or Poppy, my dad, he's here. I think he's watching with Rosie alongside. Have you felt that when you're eating plant-based food, that you actually feel fuller quicker? You actually fill up faster. I think, Natalie, you mentioned this maybe on a post. And I think it's a really interesting thing that I'm hearing from a lot of people and that I'm also experiencing for my own self. can we do a split screen, please? Because I really want to like look you in the eye as I'm asking this question. I'm curious, will you share, please? What's been your experience like on a plant-based diet? Are you feeling fuller quicker? Like, because you're filling up with so many fiber-rich foods, is that the case for you? And if you have kids in your home and you're cooking plant-based for them, maybe you're trying some of these recipes, are you finding that they're actually getting fuller quicker? Are they eating or having the cravings for dessert less because they're filling up with all the good foods first? Now, we call that crowding out. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach, and I do health coaching on the side when I'm not doing my show. And when I'm not writing my cookbooks. And one of the things that we often talk about is this idea of crowding out. And what that means is truly making sure to get all of the abundance of the nutrient-dense foods first. And what you end up doing is you not leaving much room for much else, which is a good thing. That means that you're going to actually crowd out the sugar and the other ingredients. Pull this back a little bit. There we go. And that crowding out is a really, really good thing. So has that been your case? Diane says, yes, it's true. I just lost my screen. Diane says, yes, it's true. I think that you may have already alluded to this too when we've chatted about this. I believe it was you. But yes, it can be true for many people. So if you haven't noticed that yet, just notice it as you start to eat more plant-based foods. So we have our burger patties. Look how cute these are. They're beautiful. They're orange and black speckled because of the black beans. These look really good. They're super colorful. Natalie says, yes, ma'am. I mentioned it last night. I've dropped a little over 10 pounds in 2 weeks and a few inches less on the plate and a fuller stomach. Natalie, thank you so much for being a model for plant-based eating. You and your adorable daughter and family are really taking this and you're running with it. And your guys are making these recipes and you're showcasing them on our Facebook group, Plant-Based Made Easy. So I really thank you so much for doing that. I'm totally inspired by you. And I know that I can probably speak for other people in our group. We're all inspired by you. You guys are amazing. You're doing great work. Thank you. All right. So these are going to go right into the oven. Now, I did this ahead of time because I had to, because I don't want to take too much of your time. And I want you to be able to see what these look like complete. What I do, you guys, is I put them on that eco-friendly baking mat. That's what this is right here. This is wonderful. It's the first FDA-approved BPA-free baking mat. And I just baked these up in the oven. Remember, you roasted your potato at 400, so you're going to go ahead and put these in the oven at 400 degrees. And you can also do this on a stovetop with a little oil in a saute pan. And you can saute them on both sides. Low and slow is key here. If you do it in the saute pan, a little oil goes a long way. I would use coconut oil because that's going to be really delicious with the sweet potato. And get it on a low flame and just let it sit there and crisp up and cook up. The whole idea is that we cook everything low and slow from the inside out. That's why I actually prefer baking these burgers in the oven as opposed to doing them on the stovetop. Plus, I can save myself the hassle of eating any more oil than I need to. Any additional oil, I can cut that out. I can really try to watch and minimize the amount of oil and salt that I'm taking into my body. And one of the best ways to do that is to bake as opposed to saute. So if we can, do it. If we can, try it. All right, so let me build a burger, but before we do, let's make a really quick vegan Sriracha Mayo. Yeah, you into it? I'm into it. I'm gonna use this vegan mayo here. This is from Thrive Market. If you're interested in this Thrive Market, I have a discount code for you. I feel so grateful that I can do this and give you guys all the loves, all these cool companies that I personally love and have loved for a long time. Now I can share this with you. So I am like beyond grateful, like bubbling with gratitude. So I love their vegan mayos from Thrive Market. I have a funny story. Now, a few people on this line have seen me do this, but before I actually started writing my Plant-Based Made Easy cookbook, I was doing a very small private coaching plant-based made easy group. And I invited about 15 people for a couple of months to come on board and to do just like this, a private cooking and nutrition lesson for 5 days a week for a full month. And I did it 3 times. And what I found was that I started by making things like vegan mayo and things like this, but it was really hard to make vegan mayo. And in fact, on the first day of the class, the mayo wouldn't come together. The atmosphere in the studio was too hot. I didn't have the right oil. I didn't have the right piece of equipment, an immersion blender. That's what you need. And so I thought, gosh, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't need to actually show you how to make vegan mayo because this is a food that we eat in moderation. We don't eat this every day. This is definitely has a lot of oil, especially vegan mayo. It's not made with egg yolk. It's just made with oil and aquafaba, which is the chickpea puree or the brine of the chickpea liquid. And it has a lot of calories. So yes, it is maybe better for us because it doesn't contain eggs. And so it's cholesterol free. It contains a lot of calories. And so I decided I'm not doing that anymore. That was the first day, and I really structured the class differently every single day after that. So in making this oil, in making this mayo, I failed. And so now I buy it from Thrive Market, and I hope that you will too. All right, I'm going to use about a few tablespoons of this mayo here. I don't need too much. I'm only going to be making some sliders to show you. And then I want a little sriracha, which I absolutely love. Let me shake the bottle so that you can read it. When it has chili on the outside of the bottle, you can read it. Sriracha is wonderful stuff. I love that it's actually Sriracha, but most people don't call it that. Sriracha is really hard to say, so we say Sriracha. And it's chili pepper sauce. It's really spicy, but not overly spicy. So it's intended that you can actually use it on your entire meal. So like over nachos, on burgers, whatever. I'm going to put it in my mayo, and I'm just going to do like 1 to 2. So 2 parts mayo to 1 part sriracha, and then give it a mix. And then the last thing that I need is just a little garlic powder if you want. This is just going to make it even more savory. Let me see if I have some back here. I do, behind the curtain. I have some garlic powder. I'm just going to use just a splash, like an 1/8 or 1/16 of a teaspoon. That's it. Give it a taste. Oh yeah, spicy. Mayo-y, garlicky, yum. Okay, let's build our burger. We are ready. Ready? So I'm going to do a slider, like I said, because I like things small. I like many things. And if you like many things too, let's be friends. Okay, so I have some burger buns, and these are slider buns, which I love. These come from Trader Joe's. They're really small. If you're interested in making your own burger buns, I've got you covered. There is a staple recipe inside of this book, the last and final recipe of the book, for plant-based bread. This recipe is amazing. It comes together in less than 45 minutes. And that's from the moment you put flour in your KitchenAid stand mixer to the moment it comes out of the oven baked. Now, I love this recipe because you can use this plant-based bread, homemade plant-based bread, to make challah, to make bread loaves, to make pizza crust, or to make burger buns. Super simple, super yummy. Check it out. I didn't have time to make any right now this week. I will make it later. I usually make it once a week. But for right now, I wanted to show you these slider buns from Trader Joe's, and this is how big I would make my homemade burger. So take this, top it with a little mayo, bottom and top, and we're going to go coast to coast. Yeah, that's my favorite. I love saying coast to coast. I'm a Cali girl at heart, but I trained as a professional chef in New York City and worked in restaurants throughout Manhattan. And one of the things that we would always say every single day in the kitchen is go coast to coast. And really what that means is that I want to make sure that when I'm plating, spreading goodness onto a piece of bread, I am spreading it all over. There's no part of this that does not have any mayo or hummus or whatever it is the spread that you're using is. So that's perfect. Now I want some lettuce and I want some avocado. We'll do avocado first. I'm going to use a California Hass avocado. Love these. You guys know that I'm on the California Avocado Board, or maybe you didn't know. I'm on the California Avocado Board, and I have been for the last 3 years. And I'm really excited to be a part of that board. I actually was voted on for another term. So I'm back on it again. And I'm very excited. And what the board is an opportunity to sit with all of the California growers. And there's one representative from each region or district of the California avocado growing region, which happens to be from Monterey, California, all the way down to San Diego. And I get to sit with the growers and we get to talk about things like, why are California avocados important for the consumer to know about? How are they more nutrient dense than some other types of produce? Why are they heart healthy? How can we eat more? How can we develop recipes that contain California avocados? And what are those other varieties, like not Hass, but the Reed avocado or the Fuerte or the bacon avocado? There's lots of different ancient varieties of avocado that used to grow like thousands of years ago in California that no longer grow. So we're always talking about how can we get the consumer more knowledgeable about the mighty avocado. Truly is mighty. It's my favorite fruit. It's a fruit. Did you know that? Not a veggie. It's my absolute favorite. It's buttery. It's yummy. I don't know. I've always had a thing for avocados. And I'm just going to fan this out so it's nice and purdy. And I think should I do I think I need to do two so I can take a bite of one and then take a photo of the other. Coast to coast, quickly. When I say coast to coast, I think about myself as a California girl living in New York, living my life like Carrie Bradshaw, but not as glamorous because I was sweaty in the kitchen. But I felt good. I was living my purpose. All right, another avocado. I always do a bite on the show, and then I always take a photo, and I always want that photo to be pretty. If you want to check out all my cool photos, check out all my photos on Instagram. If you haven't followed me already, please do so. Instagram at chefdanielamalfitano.com. No, not .com. Just Chef Daniela Malfitano on Instagram. All right, now I want a matchy plate. Now I want some lettuce. Perfect. I'm going to use this gorgeous CSA Farm Fresh to You Farm Box lettuce. Purple lettuce, you guys. Red leaf lettuce, purple lettuce. I know that it's really called red leaf lettuce, but I like to call it purple lettuce too sometimes. It's gorgeous. It seriously tastes like nothing like you would ever get at the market, like at the grocery store. It's truly sweeter. It has a different flavor than regular lettuce, and I love it. I'm going to just use a little bit. I love the purple or red leaf lettuce in my burger because it pops and it's sweet and it's nice. It's perfect. That looks great. All right, now we need a little burger. Get ourselves a burger. Give this a fold. Yep. And this one looks pretty. Yep. If I want maybe a little black pepper on my aguacate or avocado, yum. If you want maybe a little sriracha on the top of the burger, but you guys take a look. Come on. I know you'd eat that. I'd eat that. This looks good. If someone served this to me at a diner and I was like in the middle of Texas, I'd be like, I am so grateful for you. This sweet potato black bean burger is easy. It's clean eating, and it's really, really great for us. I don't really know what happened to my camera. Oh, I see. We're going to let it go. I'm getting a call. That's where it's never, ever happened. Usually it can't. All right, I'm going to take a little bite. So let me top my burger. I want avocado down first. Oh, let me slice it in half so you can see everything together. Yeah. Oh, you guys, look, come on. Yeah. Come on. This is so cute. You can't take your eyes off it. It's so cute. I'm going to take a little bite now because I have to quality control. But before I do, I just want to give this food a little gratitude. God, we thank you. Here we go. Yeah. Seriously? Come on, it doesn't get any better than this. It's flavorful. Look, it's not falling apart. It's staying together. That's very rare for a plant-based burger. This recipe is good. You guys try this recipe. Get into it with your favorite sweet potato. I know you have one. I know it's that time where we're all like yummy for sweet potatoes. Get into it with a really ripe avocado. Get into it with a really delicious bun and some delicious lettuce. And hey, some vegan mayo with sriracha sauce and garlic powder whipped into it. People are going to thank you for this one. I really hope that you try it. And if you try it, please take a photo and pop it into our Facebook group because I love to see your creations. It does something to me. It literally like makes me get up off my office chair and dance around because I feel like I am in service. I'm in service of you and I'm in service of your health. And I feel like that's what I'm here to do. So thank you for letting me be of service to you and your family. I'm here to support you on your health journey. So if you want to get to know more about my coaching practice, or if you want to know how I got started as a chef, or if I can help you figure out how you can reach your health goal, please get in touch with me. I would love to help you in any way that I can. I have many resources, and I think that you do too. So I'm going to help you tap into that knowing inside, that confidence inside, that you don't have to seek outside for anything and any of it. It's all right within you. I'm going to help you bring that to the surface. Yeah. All right, you guys, come back for more. Tomorrow, we are getting into our snack recipe. I'm going to be making a fried Fuji apple toast. It's going to be good. So come join me for that recipe. I have 2 more for this week, tomorrow and Friday. I hope that you consider joining me. And thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Peace out.